What's going on, folks? It's ya boys. It's Bob. That's Ray. We are the twins who call themselves the Split Personalities Podcast.
Cleveland Twins.
The Cleveland Twins. We go by several names. But we are. I've reintroduced this line. I'll keep saying it. We are two twins that are hosting a podcast who are entering their late 30s, who did what a lot of people do late in their lives, who are hacks. We started a podcast. And today we are, we used to do this, we kind of had started this show with going from film to TV to video games and then kind of recycled. We're kind of jumping ship with that model, and we're just we couldn't think of a good TV series we were ready to discuss. So we decided to. There's one I have in mind that I think we'll discuss in a few weeks, maybe a couple weeks from now. But I had to lead that discussion, and I'm not prepared for that. So instead, we stuck with film, and we are going to today talk about a near and dear thing to our hearts and to many comic book lovers. We're going to talk about Batman.
I think we're going to focus on the films.
Yes. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the comics, so we have to stick to the films.
So I want to lay this out. We're only going to touch on a couple of the films. I think we're going to cluster them together into series based on director.
Yes.
We're
going to group them together. Yeah.
Might touch on some animated stuff here and there, but going to focus really on live action.
Right. So we're going to talk about...
We're not talking about Joe Schumacher's Batman here.
No, we're skipping those. If you're a fan of Batman Forever or Batman and Robin...
A fan of suits with nipples.
Yeah, suits with nipples and butt cheek shots.
Yeah.
You can just pause the video or just go to something else right now.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to talk about that.
Not talking about it.
So we're going to avoid Joe Schumacher's... is it Joe or Joel?
I think it's Joe Schumacher. I'll have to double check. I'm almost positive.
He's not. His name's not even worth remembering.
It's Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
So today we're gonna talk about Tim Burton's Batman and Batman Returns, Christopher Nolan's trilogy of Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises, and then probably a nice shout out to what's happening in more recent. Matt Reeves.
Definitely going to touch on Matt Reeves, for sure.
Okay, we're going to talk about Matt Reeves, the Batman, but I think a bulk of the discussion is really going to happen center around Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan's thoughts and imaginations of Batman.
As 90s kids, I'm going to do a brief shout out for sure for the animated series.
Yeah, the animated series, which was really, I think, heavily influenced. I mean... That was heavily influenced by what Tim Burton introduced into not just Batman, but like what superhero movies could be, like the dark tones that a superhero movie could take.
I mean, the show had incredibly dark tones and sad storylines.
The show deserves its own episode
for a kids show. Like sometimes, watching that as a kid just hit really hard because there are some really tragic. Characters in the show.
Yeah. Before we get into the topic, just again, I'm gonna promote our swag here. Ray and I are both rocking the Split Personalities crew necks.
Colder out.
It's getting a little bit colder out.
These are nice and warm, honestly.
Yeah. If don't be jealous. You can get these.
Don't be jelly.
Don't be jelly. Bob has the hat again.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
Right. Ray knows that the jelly. We don't know that you're ready for that jelly. So Bob's rocking the hat too. Ray's not a hat guy, but regardless, we have T-shirts. We've got these hats. We've got the crew necks. We've got pint glasses. And I can't remember. I feel like there's one more.
You have to get these from Guinness, though.
Yes. And Ray and I got these Guinness glasses, which you cannot purchase. Well, you can purchase from Guinness, but we don't sell these.
Not from us.
But we had them nicely engraved. You can see that there on the camera. It says Split Personalities with Bob and Ray.
Cheers.
Cheers. So if you would like to get in on any of the Split Personalities swagoo, you can reach out to
ESPN guy.
Yeah.
Swagoo,
yeah. if you want to get any of this merchandise, you can reach out. We don't publicize it on any website or anything right now. We're not that big. We're a small operation.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's what you're here for.
Oh, we should talk about Dune in the future. That's the thing that just popped in my mind. Okay.
That's going to be deep lore. Like, I've gone really deep on Dune.
Yeah,
before.
we should talk about Dune. If you want to, you can reach out and through instant messaging, direct messaging, whatever they call it today, on Instagram. And if you want to order something, you can reach out to us and order it. Instagram's the easiest way to reach out to us right now. If you get us to be a bigger operation, there will be a lot easier ways to order our stuff. I'll be completely honest with you right there. If you like the merch, you want to support the show, there are multiple ways. You can order some of our merch by messaging us on Instagram. You could, so that's one. Two, you could be a real one and donate to us as a member on Patreon. Our link will, if you're watching this from YouTube, our link will be in the description. If you're watching this from Instagram, go to our bio. The links will be in our bio. So you can support us monthly on Patreon, be a member, be a real one. Or you can, if you don't want to commit to that level, and you don't want to buy merch, you can also give us one-time donations through our PayPal account, which can also be found in our bio on Instagram. But if you're watching us on YouTube, it'll be in our description. Okay, cool. So yes, today's topic, we are talking about Batman. And, I think we're just going to approach these initially chronologically, but we'll probably also talk about like who are our favorite villains, who portrayed Batman in our minds to the truest sense, and what stories were the most captivating from these different iterations of Batman.
Yeah.
So obviously, to go into chronological order, and to begin in the year in which Ray and I were born, 1989, is when our good old buddy Michael Keaton adorned the mask and played the role of the Caped Crusader Batman.
Which is very controversial at the time. Because he was a comedic actor, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like he was probably, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like you probably, if you're from that time and know of Michael Keaton, you probably think of him more as that Mr. Mom, like rom-com, like just silly, goofy comedy kind of character. Yeah. Whereas in this film, he's obviously playing a very straight man.
Right. I mean, you have to think
straight man, not just being like that he appreciates women, but that like.
As far as we know, he's heterosexual.
As far as we know, that's the case.
That's the case.
But we don't judge any types of people. We are the anti-manosphere podcast, by the way.
Exactly.
To keep that going.
But
he's like this the straight. I mean, like he doesn't show a lot of emotion, or he plays his role very straight. Like he doesn't show a lot of emotion. There's a sort of a love interest in this film, but like you never get the sense that that's going to last. You know.
Yeah, a lot of honestly, I feel like Tim Burton a lot of like high risk, high reward with this movie because one, you have to go back to like late 80s. No one was making comic book movies back then.
Right.
It's not like today where they churn them out like Marvel and DC.
If you think about a year from now, talking about 1989, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie will come out, which we've already discussed in 1990, and that also had a very dark theme to it. But it seemed like Tim Burton's Batman. It actually
almost seemed paved the way for
when we watched some of the retrospectives for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles directly referenced Tim Burton's work on Batman, saying it opened the door to have a darkly themed superhero movie.
Yeah, comic
yeah.
movie.
So like if you go watch Batman 1989 and then watch the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you're like, wow, these are both very dark and gritty films. Yeah. That was directly influenced from Batman. So Tim Burton really broke some ground.
Yeah, he took a lot of risks, like with the actor he chose and the project he chose, because neither were popular.
Right, and the music is famously composed by musician who was the lead singer from Oingo Boingo.
I didn't even know that.
Okay, so
Prince is in the movie.
Prince is in the movie. Yeah, the studio wanted a known singer to be a part of the music score, but the if you know the song Weird Science,
Okay, yeah.
So that was a song made by the band called Oingo Boingo, and the lead singer of that band eventually, like quickly, that band fizzled out. But the lead singer from that band has famously worked with Tim Burton for decades, and he is pretty much the composer on any movie he does.
Nice.
Yeah, he famously he was the singing voice for who's the skeleton in The Night Before Christmas?
Jack Skellington?
Yes, he was the singer for when there were musical scenes in the movie Nightmare Before Christmas. He did the singing voice of the skeleton.
What's this?
Yes, so
There's Batman's
lead singer from Oingo Boingo. Shout out to that guy. Composer for pretty much all of Tim Burton's movies. But he did the score for the Batman movie too. For Tim Burton's
good score for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that the most okay. So just to jump into my first comparison of the different movies. So Tim Burton's vision of Batman versus Christopher Nolan's vision of it. I'm not going to throw. Well, I guess I would throw Matt Reeves in here for a second. I would say that the way in which Gotham City is portrayed is truer in the Tim Burton vision and the Matt Reeves vision than Christopher Nolan almost puts Batman in the real world, whereas
he's like in New York City, he's like in Chicago.
Yeah, whereas Tim Burton really like creates this fantastical place in which like Gotham City feels like a unique place.
Yeah,
in Matt Reeves and in Burton.
Thinking about specifically Tim Burton, because it just reminds me like watching the animated series, where I felt like the show didn't take place in the 50s, but kind of feels like that, the way the vehicles are.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The vehicles are like, whereas, Christopher Nolan is somewhat true to the comics in like the Frank, what's his name? Frank Miller. Frank Miller portrays Batman in a tank-like vehicle in one of his comic books. And so Christopher Nolan is sort of true to the comics in that sense of Frank Miller. But in Matt Reeves and in Tim Burton's Batman, it's like, okay, the Batmobile is like this sort of unique vehicle that exists in a unique world, whereas Christopher Nolan has pretty much put Batman in a Chicago, in a New York City. He's put him in a realistic setting.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like
Christopher Nolan very much wanted to ground Batman in the real world.
And he does say in an interview, Christopher Nolan like openly admits that. He's taking Batman and putting him in like the world that we know. Whereas
he kind of took some of the, you're not going to, like when you do see Ra's al Ghul in his Batman series, he's not coming out of the, what is it? The Fountain. It's not the Fountain of Youth. What was it?
Well, they produce a drug, right?
No, but Ra's al Ghul has lived for centuries. He comes out of the.
Well, I feel like in I feel like in Christopher Nolan, like Ra's al Ghul is just a name that
he's just a guy.
Right, but
it can
it's
be passed on.
The name is passed on, right?
But in the comics, like he literally has lived for centuries.
Right. There's a fantastical nature to the comics that I feel like exists in Tim Burton and Matt Reeves iterations of Batman that does not exist in Nolan.
Lazarus Pit or something like that.
Okay. Raise more.
I only know it really from the game. I haven't read really the comic books.
Which game? The Arkham?
Yeah, he's in the games.
Oh, is he?
He's one of the main villains. He's the main villain in the second game. I think Arkham City.
I didn't really play this.
Pretty sure he comes out of Lazarus Pit. So is what like helps him maintain his life essence, or how he's able to prolong his life.
So Tim Burton does the first two films that we know, Batman in 1989, and then in 1992 he does Batman Returns. there were some gripes. Watching some retrospectives, apparently there were some gripes about how the way in which Jack Nicholson played the Joker. As if,
I thought he did a great job.
I mean, I think he did too.
Until Heath Ledger, he was the Joker, right?
I mean, yes. And actually, Heath Ledger was inspired by.
I mean, Heath went to him for like advice.
Yeah.
On how to play a Joker.
So I guess maybe he was like there were maybe some maybe there's too much. There were some comedic tones that were overblown with. I will say the difference between how Heath plays the character versus Jack Nicholson. There is like a goofiness to Jack Nicholson's portrayal, which is but it's a goofiness that is like a madness. Like it's a threatening goofiness versus like Heath Ledger is you're always afraid of this person.
I think Nicholson plays it like good where because he could just turn on a dime. Like, there's a moment in the movie where he just kills his right hand man. Bob. He kills one of the main mob bosses too, like out of the blue. Like,
yeah. Well, so how
do we want to break? Do we want to break down these movies? Or
I mean, I would say okay. So we've sort of touched on the atmosphere, right? I would say that the Burton atmosphere of the film feels more true to the Batman franchise than Christopher Nolan. It just feels like Batman exists in he's walking the street.
Gotham,
He walks the streets of New York City and Chicago versus like Tim Burton, where it's like okay, he actually is in a world of Gotham. Like he's in this fantastical world. I will say that the characters, I think Jack Nicholson's Joker was probably one of the best villains before Heath Ledger hit the scene.
Yeah.
I don't remember a ton from Batman Returns, but like one of the retrospectives I watched, the YouTuber who was doing the retrospective felt that Danny DeVito's portrayal of the Penguin was the best in his mind villain from all of Batman.
Interesting. I feel like he's portrayed.
He was very grotesque and like.
Yeah. I feel like he's portrayed differently in the. This is only me playing like the games. And having
in the animated series, he was sort of eccentric.
Yeah, the animated series, the games, and some understanding of the comics. Like he's more eccentric for sure.
Yeah, like this affluent kind of figure. Whereas like in Tim Burton's, he's like this orphan who is like living in the sewers. Like this very grotesque figure.
Yeah.
Now he does dress very like old style. Like he looks like a Rockefeller kind of like top hat, old gross. Like old money, weird tuxedo. He dresses as if he's like the caricature of a Rockefeller person, rich person in the 20s and 30s. But he like his life experience is living in the sewers, coming from nothing, and being the sort of grotesque figure. And I mean, I feel like he's probably the most. I mean, I feel like his character seems the most. I don't want to keep using the word grotesque. I can't think of a synonym for that. But like, his character, there's no like other side to him. Whereas like Jack Nicholson's Joker has this sort of goofiness to him, along with the maniac, suicidal maniac, murderous maniac side of him. There's really no other side to Danny DeVito's Penguin. It's really just this sort of, he is who he is. It's this grotesque, like, dangerous villain.
Plays this kind of front to the public, but like, I feel like it's very sparse.
He also like kind of in the movie gets into like, he's going to, I can't remember a ton of that film, but like he's like running, he gets into touch with, who's that famous? Walken.
Well, he what happens? I can't remember how they meet.
He gets talked into running for office, right?
Well, I can't remember how they meet initially in the film, but like Danny DeVito's Cobblepot. Blackmails Christopher Walken's character into helping him. because they're a bunch
To,
of
like,
a bunch of
himself to-
shredded documents or something.
Oh,
and
he pieces them together.
Cobblepot's
That's
character
right.
has like nothing better to do, where he just pieces them all
he's
together.
living in the sewers and he collects garbage and he
Mhm.
pieces together all of these like shredded documents where he has blackmailed this fake Christopher Walken's character.
I don't even know what his character's name is.
Um,
Some dirty businessman
yeah.
who tries to kill Selena Kyle.
And he wants to basically use this blackmail to push him. He wants to emerge from the sewers and rejoin the world and be in the public eye and be this sort of like important politician figure. And he uses this blackmail, essentially Christopher Walken's character, to do this. And I don't really know what his end goals are. Is he going to be mayor of
I think he's running
Gotham?
for mayor.
Okay.
He just wants some sort of status.
Right. And then obviously the other like famous villain from that film returns is Catwoman, played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, I guess I would say like anti-hero maybe.
Yeah, I mean like I can't decide in my mind which Catwoman I like more. Michelle Pfeiffer or in Nolan's in Dark Knight Rises.
I like Pfeiffer more. I feel like
who played
Anne Hathaway is just
Anne Hathaway,
like
right. Plays the
shoehorned
Catwoman
in there.
Now I will say though that the Nolan Catwoman character is more true to the comics than the Burton one, because in the Burton Batman Returns, Michelle Pfeiffer's character plays the secretary of this corrupt politician, whereas Selena Kyle, her name is Selena. The character's name is Selena Kyle. Whereas in the Christopher Nolan version of the Dark Knight trilogy, in Dark Knight Rises, she plays what she actually is in the comics, a cat burglar.
Yeah,
right. So she like the Nolan series is truer to the character of Catwoman, even though I feel like the Michelle Pfeiffer is the more dynamic of the two. You know.
No, yeah, I think her character is definitely more memorable. It's weird because I think I would rank Michelle in terms of kind of, I guess, the 3 movie series we're talking about. I would put Pfeiffer. I think I'd put Pfeiffer 1. I'd put Zoe Deschanel 2, and
she okay. I do feel bad about this. I will admit this for the Matt Reeves. The Batman. I feel like I need to watch that back because every time I try to watch, this is a 3-hour movie. Every time I try to watch,
it's an epic.
Oh my god! Every time I try it's so long.
I'm gonna make us talk about it because I love that movie.
Okay, Ray's gonna make us talk about it. I feel like every time I've tried to watch this movie, I've fallen asleep. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have fallen asleep. You cannot make me sit for 3 hours and watch a movie. I'm gonna fall asleep. What's that? My wife's talking to me. Oh, unless it's Lincoln. Now, Lincoln, shout out to, what's the actor's name? Daniel Day-Lewis. Shout out to Daniel Day-Lewis. Shout out to the movie Lincoln. That was a great that was an epic movie. That I will watch because of the great acting and the quips, right? The one-liners that are thrown throughout that movie. Batman, a 3-hour Batman movie. It's like by hour 2, 5 minutes in, I'm like snooze fest. I'm asleep. I also didn't like the villains. Like I liked the Riddler, but the Penguin, I was totally on the Penguin in that movie. I hated the Penguin.
I kind of liked him. Have you watched the show? It's actually not bad.
I don't know. I need to rewatch the Matt Reeves one. When Ray and I went and saw it in theaters, I fell asleep in the theaters. But Ray and I went to go see it in theaters, and the way it opened, I was in from Jump Street on this movie when the opening scene. But man, it just dragged on and on and on, and I just fell asleep. And then I woke up and the credits were going.
Yeah. Okay.
So back to Burton. What do I say? I feel like we haven't given it justice, but do we want to say anything more about it before we jump to Nolan?
I don't know how to
I feel
say
like Nolan is where Nolan is more of my atmosphere.
It's weird because like I do want to say like Burton does give his like you watch
Here's the other thing about Selena Kyle that's not explained, which one of the YouTubers I watched was complaining about. She gets thrown out of a building and is killed, obviously, with how far she falls. And yet, like, a bunch of cats encircle her and, like, revive her, and she now has 9 lives. Like, that's never, like, so there's some fantastical nature to the Burton movies, which are not explained, which I feel like makes it more of a Batman movie than Nolan. But, yeah, I don't know. My one gripe of Batman Returns is, like, what? Like, okay, she's revived and she's now alive and maybe she has 9 lives now. I don't know. Like, it's so weird that she just got this woman gets thrown out of this building, dies, and is revived by cats, and now is, you know.
I'll say you definitely have to see the Tim Burton ones just because Tim gives his flair to the movies. I mean, when you watch a Tim Burton movie, you can feel it. You know, you're watching a Tim Burton movie. I don't even know how to describe it. Like the way like
Beetlejuice, Big Fish,
the way the sets look, like the balloon characters in the movie, the weird, like the way the second movie opens, it has those weird clown characters. And just I don't know, the way the sets look.
The grittiness, the dark,
the way the characters look, like you just know it's Tim Burton. Yeah, I can't even put like a direct finger on how to explain
there's a stylistic thing with him where you know that you're watching that film. It's much like I was trying to think of a different director of like much like if you're watching a Wes Anderson movie. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain tone.
It's like you're watching like I guess even a Nolan movie. Sometimes.
Yeah. Right. But I mean, like, I feel like
you get that feel for a director.
Yes, exactly. There's a certain like quirkiness to Tim Burton's movies that it's like, okay, this is a Burton movie. I'm at home. I know what I'm seeing. I know what to expect. But I will say that to give some shine on Burton, he opened the doorway for superhero movies, comic-based movies to have a grittiness in realism and darkness to them, and that was not the case before. You know, you had a lot of Christopher Reeves like Superman movies, which were very like light and like bright and vibrant colors, and you know that style fits more to Superman, the bright and vibrant colors, whereas you got the dark tones for Batman. But you couldn't have imagined a superhero movie with a very like dark atmosphere and themes before Tim Burton took on Batman. I don't know how they landed. The other thing is like credit to the studio and the producers who chose Burton to do this, but like I don't know the whole backstory to how they landed on him, but like they revolutionized the way in which you could conceive a comic book movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas all fun games before.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, just memorable. I guess the only thing that comes to mind in terms of like talking more about Burton is just like memorable moments from the movie. I will say the Prince music kind of like video scene, not music video, but like music
Party
scene.
Man.
Like, where he's like the Joker and all his crew come in and they're splashing stuff. Oh, when he first becomes the Joker, he's in the little basement. And there's a mob doctor trying to work on him, and his face just looks horrified. And Jack Nicholson's character just gets up laughing out of the chair after being, having some sort of surgery performed on him.
It's so interesting because, Heath Ledger had something to pull from, whereas Jack Nicholson's character had less material to pull from. He really did kind of create the way to play that character.
Mm-hmm. He definitely pulled from the Killing Joke a little bit.
Right. And he would have apparently in the
out.
40s or 50s, there was a dark themed Joker comic that because there was something referenced for Heath Ledger that he pulled from that was from the 40s. Him and Nolan. But
Killing Joke must have come up right in the 80s.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, 86 maybe.
What's his face? The Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
The older Batman, like that came out in the 80s. So there was material to definitely pull from.
Right. Because this movie came out in 89, so like he would have maybe had some recent fresh material to like inspire him.
So like the Killing Joke, I think definitely there's some like, you get some hints of it there, and him coming out of those vats, and then I think even the Killing Joke might have like its own little maybe I'm wrong, but like its own like doctor scene where Doctor sees him or something.
It's been a while since I've seen
I don't know. I might be wrong. That or seen it.
Give me a beer out of there.
Okay, memorable moments from the Byrne movies. Okay, I already said Jack Nicholson coming out of the vats, him coming to see the mob doctor, him going straight to his mob boss and killing him. That was a great scene.
There was a scene. There's a scene between him and Bruce Wayne where he shoots Bruce Wayne in the apartment.
One of the best lines in the movie. And Bruce says this later to him in one of my I watched this movie the same way I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where I'm just waiting till the end with the rooftop fight scene. There's a great church scene where like Batman's fighting his way up in this old church. And then the end of the movie,
he's got Vicky Vale. Like these guys love it.
Yeah, ends in a fight scene at the top of this building, this old church or whatever. But anyways, he says, what does he say? He says, "Have
you ever danced with the devil in a moonlit night?
In
pale moonlight. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?"
Which I guess he said to his parents too before he killed them.
Yeah, it was like he basically makes this comment like, I say that to all the people I tend to kill. Essentially. And
he's holding a gun and then he just boom shoots him.
Yeah.
And in what's his face character? Who's the actor?
Michael Keaton.
Like Keaton just like puts like this very thin sheet of metal over his breastplate, like he
expects to be shot.
Suit, and it's like, I guess you expect it to be shot, but two, like there's no way that's gonna stop a bullet. Right. Anyways, whatever. It's a movie. So that's memorable. And any memorable scenes in the second one? Definitely Selena Kyle falling out of the window, being pushed out of the window. I think the opening, just like I love the ending of the first movie, I think I love the opening of the second movie where he's fighting all those like
clown
characters. Yeah. Like they're like part of you don't know. I don't think you know this.
They're part of the Penguins crew. Right?
I think you know this at the very beginning of the movie, but they're definitely part of the Penguins crew.
Somebody made a complaint about the first Batman versus the second Batman in Tim Burton's universe, where the clowns should have been part of Joker's crew, and the Joker should not have worked for the mob. In the first movie, the Penguin apparently was more in the comics. Apparently, the Penguin was more involved with the mob than Joker was. The Joker worked. Christopher Nolan shows this, but the Joker worked with the mob to the extent that like he needed them. Like he wasn't a part of the mob. Whereas they show Jack Nicholson's character as a member of this mob or organization who's betrayed. Batman Returns. I mean, like obviously one of the other
is great shot. Also, I will say like Tim Burton's Batman has no problem killing bad guys because there's definitely this in the beginning, like one of the bad guys has a bomb. It's like getting ready to detonate. He just like punches him, and throws him down a basement, and you can see there's an explosion. Like Batman does not try and save him. Yeah. And also in the first movie, when there's that bell in the church that's ringing, he's like fighting this one huge like
Really buff
bad
dude.
guy, really buff bad guy, and the bad guy thinks he throws Batman over down this huge kind of like opening within the church, and he's looking over the side to make sure like he got Batman. All of a sudden, Batman's legs come out from under, throw him right into the bell, like throw his head into the bell, and then throw him over. Obviously, this guy dies too.
Right.
So
you don't see him directly.
That bothers some people. It doesn't bother me. Honestly.
Well, some
our
people
cousin, for
like,
instance, is like our cousin Mike is.
Well, he says the same thing about Superman, right?
Right. Our cousin Mike is a true fan. Like he's a comic book fan first, and then a movie fan.
Truther.
Yeah, he's a comic book fan first, and then movie fan second, I would say. And obviously, Batman doesn't kill. So.
Yeah, right. Same with Superman. Like Superman does not kill. Like in the fact that I've not watched Man of Steel, but obviously in that movie, like he kills the enemy at the end.
To me, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I feel
it
like
grounds the charters, I think, more in reality.
Yeah, you kind of like he kind of has to in those moments, right? Like his life is being threatened. He's doing what he has to do.
Right.
Okay, so I feel like we can now jump to. Unless there's something else.
Is there any other cool scene in the second movie? The opening is the most memorable.
I feel like
me.
I don't remember a lot of. It's funny because this YouTuber I watched says Batman Returns. This YouTuber who did a retrospective of all the Batman movies says that Batman Returns was the best Batman movie ever made. And
I think there's so many more memorable scenes in the first movie. It's funny
because I don't remember. That's the when I was like listening back to this, I'm like, this is the movie I remember the least out of all of them.
I mean, Selena Kyle's this cool again, like 9 Lives thing in the very end of the movie where she like literally kisses the bad guy and then like electrocutes him while she's kissing him. And then you find out at the very end, like she's standing on a rooftop, so she like
she's
has
still alive.
survived.
Apparently, they added that in later. The actress who stands up in the shot that's done was not Michelle Pfeiffer. Initially, the idea was to have her die, but when they did pre-release testing of the movie, like the crowd loved Michelle Pfeiffer, her Catwoman so much, so like they wanted her to stay alive. They wanted her to continue. I mean, and apparently, actually, I don't know the truth of this or not. Somebody could fact check this, but the third movie that Tim Burton was going to make was going to be a Catwoman movie.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, they needed Michelle Pfeiffer.
They got that with Halle Berry.
Oh, God. Okay, so I can't think of another memorable moment from the two. I liked the... To me, the 89 version was the better one of the two.
Yeah, I liked it more, too. Which doesn't mean I don't know.
I feel like the joke... It's sort of biased because I feel like the Joker is the more interesting villain.
True. He is the most interesting villain.
So I just feel like biased about that.
So, yeah. I mean, if Batman Returns is on, like, I'm going to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was good. It was a great movie.
I watched that from start to finish.
And I think one of the YouTubers made this point. The character of Bruce Wayne is more interesting I would agree with them that in Batman Returns they humanize Bruce Wayne's character more than in the first movie. Again, in this idea of the straight character, Michael Keaton plays it very straight in the first movie, whereas in the second movie they humanize him a little bit more. They open it up with his acting range a little bit more in Batman Returns. Right. They focus more on Bruce Wayne the person in Batman Returns than they do in the 1989 version. Mm-hmm. I would agree with that, but other than that, like I think the 89 version is superior. Like that is if we rank these later on, that's up there. I mean, the 1989 version's up there. So, all right, jumping to Christopher Nolan. I will say that the Gotham that Christopher Nolan, thinking about the world in which Batman occupies,
the Gotham he creates, you just got to think about a big city.
It's any
big city you want. It's going to be on the East Coast, though. It's going to be Chicago. It's going to be.
That's my gripe about it. It's like you could copy and paste any big city, and it's like, okay, he's living. Batman is working and living and operating in Chicago, in New York City,
and like a lot of the
in
Dark,
LA, you know,
the Dark Knight. A lot of it was filmed in Chicago.
Yeah, right.
My brother who lives in Chicago, so like he very much praises like.
Right, they were there.
Anytime we like visit Chicago or like visit downtown, I'll like point out
this
where
is
like
where
the
that was
various
filmed.
Dark Knight scenes were filmed. And
Right.
I love Chicago. We love Chicago. It's a great city. Cool that awesome that they filmed there.
It doesn't feel like Gotham.
But it doesn't feel like Gotham, yeah.
Christopher Nolan does not create a Gotham City, in my mind.
And I think that the reason that it feels that way because Gotham is different in all three movies. Like, where was the first movie filmed? Was it Chicago? The second movie, 100%, most of it was filmed in Chicago. I was positive.
They might have done some shots in New York.
But, like, I'm pretty sure the third movie, like, parts of it were filmed in, like, Pittsburgh and...
Yeah. Well,
like, he just picks a city setting.
Yeah. Just think of a big city and it's like, okay, that's the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, whatever. Like, these skyscrapers or whatever. Like... part of it was also filmed in at least Batman Begins. Part of it was filmed in Tokyo because there's that monorail, that above the ground monorail,
Right.
which apparently was always a monorail from Tokyo. So that was one of the inspirations for that in the Batman Begins, the first part of the trilogy. So that's one of my gripes about the Christopher Nolan trilogy is that the atmosphere of Gotham City feels generic. You know, it's just like copy and paste big city scene. You know, it's like that's where we've placed him. Now that was intentionally done because Christopher Nolan wanted to make it feel like real, like Batman in the real world, versus what Burton and Reeves do, which is like really grounded in this sort of like fantastical Gotham City.
Yeah. I think probably, we haven't got a full picture of Reeves yet because he's still making his own trilogy. But I mean, so far, Nolan's Batman has done the best in painting like a full picture of Batman, like from his beginnings to his middle to his later being more elderly.
The character
Batman.
arc is fantastic. In
Yeah.
Yeah, the character of Batman is so fleshed out in the Nolan series. From his upstart to his like emergence to his sort of downfall / like retirement in the last part of the trilogy. The other thing with Nolan, I would say, is the crop of actors are definitely superior to what Burton put together. I don't know that I want to say that. I don't know that I would say that Christian Bale plays a better Batman than Michael Keaton does, but for what Nolan wants it to be, I feel like for what Nolan wants the Batman trilogy to be. I would say that Bale fits that better than like a Keaton would.
Maybe we should do this like at the end, just like rank. I would even rank it like who did the best.
Okay, let's save that for the end then.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw curveball in there because we're not just ranking Batman here. Okay. But anyways, so what do we want to talk about with the first movie? What do you remember with the first movie?
Well, so the first film, I would say that the other thing with Nolan is I think he's truer to the origin story of one thing that he said in making Batman Begins is the big influence with that was nobody had ever really told the origin story of Batman. And being this sort of wayward, like in the middle of the sea, driftless boat. Like he loses his parents, right?
Right.
And he is now this sort of young man who is drifting through life, and he ends up in Asia, and that sets
like
off
his early 20s or like late teens,
early to mid 20s. I feel like
right. We
where
don't find this in the beginning, like in the midst of the movie.
He's a criminal, basically.
Yeah, I mean, when we open up on him, he's like living as a criminal essentially.
Yes.
But we find out he's stealing from himself, so he's not like he's a tongue-in-cheek criminal, but we find out like he either leaves in his like early 20s or late teens, ups and leaves, and heads to Asia.
Right.
And lives there for several years.
Yeah, and so this really taps into the origin story of Batman, which we never see in any of the other films. Because when you see Tim Burton's Batman, the character is already Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and same with Matt Reeves. In the Matt Reeves The Batman, he's already the Batman.
Yeah.
Whereas in Nolan, he really values the character arc and telling the origin of how Batman became Batman. So
how Batman began.
Yes, how Batman begins. And so the only gripe I would say with the acting is casting Katie Holmes at all. Like, she was terrible. But
I know what's her face was so much better in the second movie.
Gyllenhaal's
sister, yeah.
Sister.
Jake Gyllenhaal's sister.
Jake Gyllenhaal's sister. Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Maggie, yeah.
So she's so much better. But anyways, the one thing I would highlight with Nolan's trilogy of Batman is that he sets the table and stays true to the comics with how Batman becomes Batman. He joins this organization of assassins led by Ra's al Ghul.
I think he knows it at the time when he joins. He finds out later, right?
What do you mean?
That they're an organization of assassins.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, and that is historically placed, right? Because there was one of the podcasts I listened to, shout out to this, the History of Civilizations there's a professor who runs this podcast, but basically it's a podcast focused on how civilizations fall. I think it's the fall of civilizations. It's the name of the podcast, but he focuses on a number of different civilizations, Rome, like a bunch of different like empires that fall in history. And one of the ones he focused on was the Mongols. And in part of the Fall of the Civilization podcast, in the episode, he does a two-part episode with the Mongols. And in part of that, he focuses on the Mongols' campaign against the assassins, because a Mongol king was either threatened or killed by this group of assassins, and they eventually like sieged. They went into the mountains where this cult of assassins lived, and they wiped them out basically. But so this is sort of based in history, is my point, right? Who's the actor? Christian Bale's. Christian Bale's Batman. Bruce Wayne goes in, basically as a young man, is drifting, and this cult of assassins finds him and just deems that he would be worth investing in, and so he goes into the mountains to
train with them.
And in training with them, he learns the skills to be Batman. He has a moral compass that is problematic for them. He doesn't want to kill. Like he basically refuses to kill when he's ordered to do so. And so that's like sort of his break with this cult of assassins. But my point is that Christopher Nolan, unlike other directors, stays true to the origin story of Batman and the whole Ra's al Ghul dynamic. And so, obviously, coming back to the States from having that experience, he now focuses on. He basically like sabotages the complex that he's in. Like,
the Assassin's complex, like he sets off all these bombs.
Right, he sets off all these bombs.
It's funny, he's not going to kill this one guy, but potentially he did kill everyone else in this building,
and then
including this innocent man.
He was like going to kill Liam Neeson, decides not. He actually saves him, like Liam Neeson's character, who actually later on becomes Ra's al Ghul, because Ra's al Ghul is an idea, not a man, and so anybody can have the name of Ra's al Ghul. So I would say that a credit to Nolan is that I think he really does emphasized and stays true to the origin story of Batman, which nobody I feel like has ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I would say is that I think the villains in Nolan's trilogy are the as a collective are the most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's just be honest. Nobody's going to top Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, that's the greatest villain ever produced in a Batman movie. So let's just take him out of the pool of villains, right? Like we got to take Heath Ledger out of the pool of villains. It's not
it's like 101.
Yeah, it's not a fair competition. But if you think of some of the other villains, like Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul, Bane, what's the actor's name who played Bane? Hardy's Bane. Some people like really complained about his voice in the movie. I thought it was great, to be honest. Hardy's Bane, the Scarecrow by I can't think of the actor's name.
I just got it.
Killian's Scarecrow. Like the collection of villains that Nolan produces are, I think, of the three that we're talking about. Reeves, I know we're not giving a fair shot to Reeves because he's only done one movie so far. But Reeves, Burton, Nolan's collection of villains, and even taking Joker out of that because it's unfair, I think that's the greatest collection of villains, to be honest.
Right. What more can you say of the first movie? I mean, the real movie to talk about in Nolan's trilogy is The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I mean, like we can skip past like Begins. Like, okay, yeah, Scarecrow was an interesting villain.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a lot of run in a lot of movies.
I like they do bring him back in the third movie.
Yes, as the judge, right? What does he say? Exile or death. And the guy says, "I won't play by your games." He says, "All right, death by exile." Yeah, his character's great. He actually, in one of the retrospectives I watched, they did consider him that actor who played Scarecrow. He had initially read for Batman, so he had been considered for Batman, and Nolan had liked him so much that they're like, well, we think Bale would be more true to the Batman that he wanted to portray, but like they were like, they did not want to let him out of the building, so they gave him a part in all three movies as the Scarecrow. Yes, I mean, jumping to Batman Begins, okay, like, right, it's the origin story. He defeats Ra's al Ghul. The Ra's al Ghul piece is important to the trilogy as a whole because we circle back to this in the third movie, where in the first movie, Ra's al Ghul is trying to bring Gotham to its knees. He's trying to destroy Gotham by releasing this poison gas, essentially this nerve gas toxin. And then you see again in the third movie when Bane and Ra's al Ghul's child basically come into the mix. Like again, Talia. Again, the theme again in that movie is to destroy Gotham, right? This time through like a nuclear bomb.
You ever watch Pete Holmes' like Batman?
No.
You never seen that?
I've seen him do it a little bit, but not like.
I'll have to show you. I'll have to show you this. Have you seen the one about for Nolan's third movie?
No.
Natalia? Oh my god, I have to show you this. Anyways,
what's the point you were trying to make here?
Well, okay, so like,
what's the funny thing that he does that you?
So Pete Holmes like would do like the Batman. He would do like a spiff of it, and he did one for the third movie, and it's basically the scene where he's getting stabbed by Talia.
Yeah.
And like the whole bit is like he's confused, like he doesn't get what's going on. He's like, he's just like, but we had sex.
Yeah, right.
I'll have to show you that. I mean, Anyways, I'm not going to get into it.
Okay, so like jumping past Batman Begins, right, into the meat and bones, the meat and potatoes of the Dark Knight trilogy. The Dark Knight, right?
The Dark Knight.
Batman Begins. Actually, the interesting thing about the Dark Knight is the Dark Knight, which is the second movie of Nolan's trilogy, was the first time a Batman feature-length film had ever been made that did not include the word Batman in the title.
Right. And I didn't know this. I was researching like a little bit, like to prep for today, but like, and I might be getting this wrong because I want to say Smithsonian, but I feel like that's wrong. But the Dark Knight was like so culturally like huge that either the Smithsonian or someone has protected I think the original film
Of the Dark Knight?
of the Dark Knight. Yeah.
Of Nolan's The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I think so.
Like they have the
Like I think
real?
they have like a copy of it or something like that.
Interesting.
I want to say Smithsonian, but I feel like I'm totally off base there. It might be something else, but government related. Shoot, what is it? It's not the Smithsonian. I want to say Smithsonian, but that's definitely not it. Anyways,
It's been protected in some way.
yeah, and that to me is just like so like it speaks to the film because it's like it was
How
like
impactful
it was a
the film
cultural touch point at that moment.
It was the greatest.
and it's going to go down as one of the greatest films
ever made.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, take away the whole comic book superhero aspect of it. It's one of the greatest films ever made. But to throw back in the aspect of superheroes and villains and comic books, it's the greatest superhero movie ever made.
Yeah.
I mean, like, bar none. Like, the way that Heath Ledger, like, and sadly, like, the fact that Heath Ledger does this role and dies immediately after,
and then the movie comes out.
It creates this lore around the movie. It's just, there's, like, and in one of the retrospectives I watched, Gary Oldman, who we recently talked about in another film, who played a psycho, said to Christopher Nolan, in one of the retrospectives I watched, they focused on other actors' reaction to Heath Ledger. Gary Oldman looked at Christopher Nolan and told Christopher Nolan, he's doing things I've never seen before. Like, this is special. And this is a man who played a psycho in Leon the Professional.
Yeah. Who played another memorable villain.
Yeah. And so that just speaks to how iconic and important Heath Ledger was.
I have to show you this clip too, because like it's so funny that we're doing this movie because I feel like I watched this clip like a week or two ago.
Right.
But like apparently like Heath based his Joker off this interview he saw of Tom Waits.
Okay.
Just on like a late night show. I think Tom Waits was like on this clip it seemed like he was like super drunk. But like when you hear him talk, it's like, oh, I can totally see the Joker voice that Heath pulled from this clip.
Interesting.
But
I know he watched A Clockwork Orange and like you know, there's a lot of inspiration drawn from The Killing Joke and from the 1940s Joker, from both Nolan and Heath Ledger. In fact, Nolan had his brother and I think Heath Ledger watch a 1930s true crime film or series. I can't remember the name of it, but like he basically had his brother who was helping him with the film and Heath Ledger watched this like 1930s true crime thing film as inspiration for what they were going to get ready to film themselves in The Dark Knight, the tone of the movie. And Heath Ledger had his own inspirations for like what the Joker was going to sound like and feel like and everything.
Yeah.
Like, look, there's no way to.
No. I think that he portrays the Joker the way the Joker maybe meant to be portrayed. The Joker lives by his own like weird code. He does not like money is not his goal.
Yes, Heath.
In a way, he finds his purpose through Batman. Which
I would say that I cannot think of the character of the Joker. The way that Heath plays it in my mind, like that's the Joker.
Yeah.
Like nobody, I can't imagine that anybody will ever play that. Well, I mean, I do think Joaquin Phoenix played a great in the initial movie. I have not seen the stupid musical in the second part, but
oh yeah, Heath did play. Not Heath.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was pretty.
Yeah,
good
it was
too.
pretty good.
But technically, he was he was the guy who inspired Joker. I guess, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, like Heath Ledger is one of one. Like his rendition of the Joker, it's just like you can't top it. And I take him out of the pool of villains because it's unfair to put him in the pool because he's number one. Like he's the number one Batman villain.
He might be the number one movie villain.
Number one, he might be the number one movie villain ever produced. Like the fact, like the way in which he was the right actor at the right time, in the right moment, in the right movie.
Which is funny because I think the same way, I think Michael Keaton was the right actor for Batman in the first two movies.
Yeah, 92.
And Heath was also...
He also famously...
when people found out he was going to be the Joker...
He famously auditioned for Batman, like for the role in Batman Begins.
But I remember when people found out he was going to be the Joker, like there was a lot of uproar.
Well, I probably was.
I think I was one of them too.
Yeah, at the time, like what the guy from like
probably some snotty teen at the time.
What was that movie that rom-com
like
did?
Yeah, some
like
rom-com guy.
8 Things I Hate About You.
The same way like where McConaughey has like reconnaissance.
Yeah, like McConaughey with the true crime stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's like where he revitalized. It's like. And Dallas Buyers Club.
Because Heath Ledger was probably more known for like rom-coms.
At the time at which Heath Ledger became the actor who was going to play the Joker, it's like the guy who played 8 Things I Hate About You, 10 Things I Hate About You, like those stupid like what? Like this guy is going to be the Joker? And then you started to see some of the clips, like that, like some of the trailers for the movie, and you're like, oh my god, like this movie really got hyped. This movie was super hyped before it even hit the theaters.
Yeah, I mean, but I think he died too right before it hit the theaters. Right?
Yeah, I mean, part of the lore of it was he died.
It's weird because like it felt like he died, and it felt like a lot of people were just holding their breath, like, oh my god, let him be like an amazing in this role, and he was. Yeah, because it's weird to think of, like, if he had survived,
had he lived, he would have been there to accept an award for.
Yeah, I think he still would have won it.
He was given the award for best.
I think it still would have been immortalized, but like it just is knocked up a notch because of everything.
The lore has grown because of his death.
Yeah,
right.
It was his greatest role, and he died right before it came out.
I will also say I think that the best Commissioner Gordon that's ever been done. Shout out Gary Oldman. Back to Gary Oldman here. I think he's done the best rendition of Commissioner Gordon, and also to give a shout out to I can't think of the actors. Michael Caine.
Oh, he did
the best Alfred.
Alfred, yeah.
I do love the Alfred, like the iconic Alfred from the Tim Burton films.
And also was the Alfred in the...
Yeah, and the shitty movies. He was Alfred too.
He was Alfred for like 4 movies.
Yeah, so shout out to that guy. But like Michael Caine did the best Alfred, and Gary Oldman was the best Commissioner Gordon. And so like the cast of characters that were brought in to create this trilogy were among the best actors that have ever been assembled for a Batman movie.
I mean, any memorable? I mean, there's so many memorable moments from that movie.
Yeah, the scene
they
where
all involve when Joker comes up into Batman's apartment while that gala or the fundraiser event or whatever you want to call it, campaign event, is happening. One of the most memorable movie scenes, I think.
Yeah,
ever.
Right. Harvey Dent. And obviously, like the scene where he first
we are tonight's entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. That's the great thing about the way that Heath Ledger plays that character is like he's so
You can tell he's like definitely schizophrenic. I mean,
he's menacing.
And then the way he tells the scar stories, how it always changes. You can tell like he's just like not mentally there.
Right. Yeah. You want to know how I got these scars?
You want to know how I got these scars? And then the scene of him in the hospital with Harvey Dent,
which is true to the comics.
Which I think that scene was totally ad-libbed.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like I've heard who's the actor? I can't remember the actor's name who played Harvey Dent.
Yeah. Right.
But he talks, like, I remember seeing like an interview with him talking about it, saying how that scene was just totally ad-libbed and it was like totally in the moment. And Heath like comes up to him after they get done filming that scene, just like pats him on the back and says like you know, we did it. Like that's one hell of a scene.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. And then the scene with where the Joker first reveals himself to the group of mob bosses. You want to see a pencil disappear? Like where he does this magic trick. And he puts a pencil on the table and then he grabs the guy's head.
Great in a way because Nolan stuck to the PG-13-ness of like this film. Like this is before, you know, this is before Deadpool. Like this is before like people were like, okay, we can make R-rated comic book movies. But like way to fit in like a grotesque scene in a PG-13 movie.
Right. And I mean, there's also that scene where we don't see them fight, but like he basically makes the mob members fight to the death for him.
Yeah, it cuts away, but like
he breaks the pool stick.
Just like you don't see the pencil going in the guy's eye, like you know enough to.
Yeah, it's like okay, he just killed somebody.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and then there's that great scene, obviously, like which shows which stays true to the Joker of like the fact that he doesn't care about money or anything, like where he burns that pile of money right in front of that other mob member. He doesn't give a shit about any of that. Like none of this matters. Like he is a anarchist. You know, he's a nihilist. He's there to.
He lives by his own code.
He doesn't care about the value. Like we all place value on the dollar, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have any that value. Does not mean anything.
Yeah, he uses the, you know, he's this anarchist, but also this genius. You know, where like he is playing.
He tricks everybody, right? Like he gets caught on purpose.
He uses the mob to his own ends, and then he has like outplayed the mob to the extent where he is now the boss of the city.
Right. Yeah. And he you know, everything the accolades we put on the Batman with his detective skills and everything. Like famously in The Dark Knight, he gets caught by purpose. Like, you know, and has this whole scheme and plan put in place, you know, to be caught and what he's going to do when he's caught, essentially.
For every action Batman has, I think that's true.
He's like 2 steps ahead of
the comics too. Like he always has a counter action.
Right.
He always has something else in mind
because he doesn't care. There's like things like the Batman has things he's trying.
He doesn't play logically.
No,
there's nothing logical about it.
There's nothing logical, but also there's nothing he cares about. Yeah. Right. So like, whereas the Batman is concerned about Rachel and Harvey Dent.
Rachel.
Whereas the Batman has people he loves and cares about, which compromises his position. The Joker has none of that, and so it frees him to be unpredictable, as Ray said, to act in an erratic way, to act in a way in which the Batman is 2 steps behind him in every time, every interaction that the two of them have. They think that they fake Gordon's death to catch the Joker, and yet he is like 5 steps ahead of them.
Yeah.
They thought they were 2 to 3 steps ahead of the Joker in faking Gordon's death.
Yeah, and then he just wants to be caught.
Right, he wanted to be caught. The point was to be caught to reveal, you know, his plans. anything more to say about Dark Knight. I mean, obviously it ended in a way that there was a thought that he doesn't kill the Joker at the end, right? So there was the thought that had Heath survived, they might have.
He probably would have made a cameo in the
Yeah,
third
there
movie.
might have been a.
I think that was the plan, was him to make a cameo in the third
right
movie.
to revisit the Joker in the third,
especially because they released the prisoners in the third movie.
Right. In Arkham.
In Arkham, yeah. The same way Killian makes an appearance in the third movie.
Yeah. So, I think Heath would have definitely, and the Joker as a figure would have definitely been a factor in the third movie, had he not tragically passed away. But I will say that I know I actually got hate from our cousin Michael. I feel like I said this to him once. The Dark Knight Rises was my favorite, actually. Everybody's favorite is The Dark Knight. No. Everybody's favorite film is The Dark Knight.
Why Dark Knight Rises?
I don't know. I feel like
it. You do need to listen to. You should listen to this comic book series. God damn it! Now I can't remember it. There is The Dark Knight Rises is based off.
Grab me another beer.
The Dark Knight Rises is based off a famous comic book story where Gotham is essentially cut off from the rest of the United States.
Yes.
Okay. And I can't remember. No Man's Land. No Man's Land.
Okay.
I have listened to it before. Like, I think audio.
A story, or what do you mean?
Like an audiobook version of it.
Okay.
And it's really good. Yeah, you should definitely listen to that if you like the Dark Knight Rises.
Okay. I don't know how to explain this to you or to Michael or to the audience watching. I just felt like The Dark Knight Rises as a whole, the story of him, like Batman basically comes out of retirement to try to deal with a situation.
Yeah, so it's a blend of No Man's Land and The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes.
He
is. I felt like Bane was a very interesting villain to choose. Like that was. I
did like that they went back to the League of Shadows.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. It rounds out maybe this is why I like
rounds it out. Yeah, it begins with the League of fighting League of Shadows and ends
right.
with
It starts with Ra's al Ghul and League of Shadows, and the third movie brings that back into the fold, whereas the second movie kind of ignores all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the third movie brings that back into the fold, whereas the two villains, Bane, and later on you learn the daughter of Talia, are the two main villains of the movie, right? And so, but they bring the aspect of the League of Shadows back into play, where they are trying to finish the work that was started by the League of Shadows. Like League of Shadows had intended for Gotham to fall, and that never happened. And so they are now back here to finish the job, basically. And I don't know, the movie in general just is interesting to me. Like Batman basically comes out of retirement to face Bane. He is no match for Bane. He gets his back broken and is put into a prison. He has to do this sort of like Rocky 3-esque, like rediscover himself kind of thing.
What are they saying? The climb? There's a phrase they say for climb.
Da 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 da. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I forget.
Rise, like basically rise.
Yeah.
Like they're telling him to rise. Every time I hear it, I'm like, I hear Scion TC.
Scion TC. Scion TC.
Scion TC.
Baba boom. Cacao.
Yes. Anyways, Frisky Dingo references aside. I don't know. Like, there's something about the fact that he comes out of retirement to face Bane. He gets broke. He basically, Bane's like, he's like, first I will, what does he say? He's like, I'll take your arsenal, and then I will break you.
Yeah, what's he say to him too in the cell? He's like, I will, I'm basically going to destroy the city, and then you have my permission to
yes, die. Right.
I can't remember the exact words he uses.
Yes. And so basically Bane
Bane is trying to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's mission in the first movie, which is to destroy Gotham.
Right. Well, if you watched Batman Begins, that movie ended with them on that sort of monorail. It was heading towards the center of the city, and they were going to, I think, detonate something in the center of the city. Something like that. Basically, there's a roaming nuclear bomb in the third movie, which is Dark Knight Rises. There's this bomb that is going to go off no matter what's done. And it's going to wipe out Gotham City. And this is a return to the first movie. So part of the reason why I love this so much is because it really does round out the trilogy. Like this returns to the storyline, a part of the storyline that was cut off in the first film. It returns in the third film to be brought back into play. And I don't know. I love the fact that Batman comes out of retirement, faces Bane. He's broken down into nothing. He's put in this prison. He has to rediscover himself. He becomes Batman again. Mm-hmm. He's like reborn, and he saves the day, and then obviously fakes his death. But I don't know. I feel like the story is so, the fact that it returns to the first, and the fact that I find Bane to be a very interesting villain that they chose for the film, and the fact that they brought it back to Ra's al Ghul. I don't know. I just love Dark Knight Rises, and I feel like it's more my speed than the Dark Knight was.
Yeah, I'm not going to agree with that, but
okay, I would agree that Heath Ledger's Joker is a better villain. Like that. Yeah. That is a more dynamic situation than Bane. But like, I don't know, Dark Knight. If I had a choice, if
Dark Knight Rises is definitely better than.
If somebody put in front of me Begins, Dark Knight Rises. If somebody's like, hey, here are the 3 movies you choose to watch, I'm going to choose Dark Knight Rises.
No, that's wrong.
Which is controversial.
It's wrong, but it's the Dark Knight. But I will say, if you're going to rank them in order, it's going to be the Dark Knight Rises, and then Batman Begins.
I don't disagree with that. I feel like Dark Knight is the greatest Batman movie ever made, but I prefer to watch Dark Knight Rises.
Teach your own.
I mean, how do you feel like? I guess like to bring you into the discussion. What are your thoughts about the characters in Dark Knight Rises? Like, I don't even necessarily want you to compare them to Dark Knight. I know that, again, I'm admitting that Heath Ledger's Joker is the greatest villain ever produced. So, like, where are you on Dark Knight, the movie, and his villains, and whatever?
I do like Hardy in the movie. I think he does a good.
I like his voice. Apparently, his voice is controversial to the point that.
So is Batman's voice was controversial.
Well, to the point that Warner Brothers had screened the movie with small groups of people. A bunch of different groups pre-release had complained about Tom Hardy's voice of the
in
film.
a weird way, I think it does work.
I liked it. I
think it's fine. Like, that doesn't bother me, honestly. Obviously, it's noticeable. Sure, like, let's begin.
I mean, to be fair to Tom Hardy, you're following Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are you gonna do?
And he's still like, out of the 3 bad guys in the trilogy, like, he's definitely number 2.
Yes, he's the most iconic of the 3 movies, minus Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yes. So, and I feel like he and the Joker are similar in a way that they have like this sort of like, I don't even know if I would call it a code of ethics for the Joker, but he does live by some sort of like odd code, like villain code, and Bane lives by his code as well.
Yeah.
When he turns on like, the villains he was supporting in that movie. Like the guy was like, I paid you a small fortune. Just like, This gives you power over me. Like he kills him as soon as he's done with them.
Do you feel the charge?
Do you feel the charge? He just kills him, and so I do like. I have nothing bad to say about Tom Hardy's Bane. I think it's great. I've never liked Anne Hathaway's Catwoman.
I mean, yeah,
it's so weird because it feels like their love interest is like shoehorned in the movie.
I feel like
because he has a dual love interest, one with Talia, which is, if you read comic books, like Batman has several love interests. Obviously, Selena Kyle being one, and Talia being another. It's like they try and bridge this gap in this movie with the two. It's like he's in love with both,
right?
And it's just like all of a sudden, like when he's about to sacrifice himself at the end.
I feel like it does feel like they really forced Catwoman into this movie.
It felt the love between them felt forced. I don't think Anne Hathaway played a bad Catwoman. It's just like for whatever reason, she's not super memorable to me.
No, I feel like I feel like you could talk about this movie and completely avoid her character.
Yeah,
like not that
it feels like her character's maybe a little forced in it.
Not that she's not memorable, but it's just like I feel like you could discuss the film and not even discuss her.
Yeah, you could for sure. She could have just not been in the movie, honestly.
But she does represent that. Like, I will say that the movie does entertain themes of wealth inequality, where it's like Anne Hathaway's character, along with the women that she lives with. There's like another woman that she lives with in these slums. Like they are getting by. Like the burglary that they do is just a means to an end.
Yeah.
They're trying to just survive. They're living hand to mouth, like Ray said. They're just trying to survive, and it's like this whole wealth disparity.
Yeah, wealth inequality is kind of like.
And Anne Hathaway even has this famous line of in the movie where you had it so well, like the storm's coming. Like she basically says, like
that's her motivation, like her character's motivation.
Yeah, she like whispers into Bruce's ear, basically like the storm's coming. Like you all had it so well. So like I feel like that could have been explored a little bit in more depth. But like I feel like Christopher Nolan does introduce this idea of, like we're living in it right now. Like this idea in America of wealth inequality.
And you do see it later on, like when the shit hits the fan and Gotham realizes it's alone. Like
the rich are really
the rich get taken down.
Yeah, for sure. Like
with Lisa.
When all the
because fuck them.
Yeah. Eat the rich. Am I right? So I mean,
go to hell, Elon. Go to hell,
Bezos.
Exactly. Like
we don't care about you.
Sayonara.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like that part of the movie maybe could have been explored a little bit more. But like they do introduce the idea of this revolution that happens in Gotham City is in part a
wealth inequality revolution.
Yeah, it's
that definitely could have been explored more.
Yes, 100%. I feel like that would have been a really powerful theme. Now I feel like hindsight's 2020, right? Like today, that we feel that more than when the film was released back in like 2014 or whenever it was released. During the Obama years, and now we're in the second phase of the Trump years. I feel like a Batman, a Dark Knight Rises today would have maybe focused more on those themes. But like, there is that feeling of like the rich are fucking us all.
You can see Bruce Wayne building a ballroom, knocking down the east wall.
Yeah. Exactly. Bruce Wayne knocking down the east wall. East wing of the White House.
East wing of his family's estate.
And there you go. Without going through the proper channels. So, I will say that The Dark Knight Rises, personally, for me, I know that everybody loves Dark Knight being the Heath Ledger Joker movie. In my small opinion, humble opinion, The Dark Knight Rises.
I'm just a complicated country lawyer.
The Dark Knight Rises is my favorite movie of any Batman movie.
It's The Dark Knight for me.
Yeah, I know. I knew that. Michael, our cousin, vehemently disagreed with me. But that's fine. I don't care. Like, that's my opinion, is like Dark Knight Rises. Like, if the three movies are presented in front of me, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, you have these three options. Which one are you going to watch? I'm going to watch Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Dark Knight. I mean,
okay, let's end this this filming with a shout out to Matt Reeves.
I want to end it in several different ways. Maybe this is kind of like the Lord of the Rings ending, where there are several endings. But we're going to start with Matt Reeves because I do want to touch on some of the animated stuff. But
okay, well, how about let me say this about Matt Reeves. I will say it had the same. Gotham's felt like Gotham again in Matt Reeves' movie, much like Tim Burton's Gotham. It had a unique feel to it. So I will say that Matt Reeves really brings he brings Batman back to Gotham, which Christopher Nolan did not do. I will say that the Riddler is one of my favorite, he's one of my favorite villains in the fact that this movie feels like this feels like the movie Seven, but yet set in a Batman universe. Okay, so I will say that Matt Reeves, along with bringing back Gotham, also creates this film where it's like a true crime movie.
Yeah.
So I will highlight those two things, and I will pass it to Reno.
So this is the way I would describe Matt Reeves' take on Batman, is that it is a noir detective movie.
Yeah.
With action sequences sprinkled in. And to be honest, when the action sequences do happen, when you get those Batman action sequences, they hit hard.
Right.
So he nails it when he does the action. I think what people you fall asleep during the movie.
I've not watched it. To be fair,
I'm gonna make you watch this movie.
Okay, to pause here and to be fair to the audience, I feel like I'm not a good critic of this movie because every time I've tried to watch it, I've fallen asleep.
So yeah, I will say, Matt.
It's 3 fucking hours long.
It is 3 hours long.
It's way too long. Way too long.
Matt Reeves does what the other directors don't even attempt to do, which is explore Batman as the world's greatest detective.
Okay.
And so it really does feel like a detective noir movie, right, and then an action movie second. But when the action scenes do happen, they hit pretty hard. I think they're amazing.
I didn't like the Penguin, and I did not like Zoe Deschanel, or not Zoe Deschanel. Zoe, what the fuck is her name?
Is it Zoe Deschanel?
Zoe Deschanel is the quirky girl. Kravitz. I did not like.
Liked her. I liked her more than Anne Hathaway's.
Okay.
Catwoman.
I did not like Catwoman, and I did not like the Penguin. I was bored. That's why I fell asleep. Multiple times. I have fallen asleep multiple times during this movie.
Interesting way. I don't know that he intentionally set out to do this the way Nolan did it, but it does feel like very grounded. So you have to think of, and I think this was very interesting, the way he did it too, is that he didn't do a Batman Begins style, because Batman, we're into essentially year 2 of Batman being around. So he has established himself, but he's still new on the scene. And you can tell throughout the movie, there are times when he does feel rough around the edges. They're still trying to figure it out. Especially in fight scenes, sometimes he feels very clunky. He's still able to take out the bad guys, but he does take some hits along the way, and that was done intentionally. I love the freaking Batmobile, the way they do that too, is that it's essentially just a souped up. It looks like like a classic Ford Mustang that just has a bunch of armor on it, and like someone like strapped a jet engine on the back of it too. It's supposed to feel in this movie, it is supposed to feel like, everything is a work in progress, even the Batmobile. It does the job it needs to. It's an incredibly heavily armored vehicle. It feels more DIY than
DIY. Do it yourself. DIY.
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 Do it yourself. Okay. Yeah, it's DIY. It feels more DIY than the Nolan movies, where it's just like they have all this military gear. Yeah. The tank is, already established equipment, right, from their military section. Whereas like the Batman in this movie is just taken an American muscle car and put a bunch of armor on it and strapped a jet engine on the back of it.
Because why not?
Yeah, because why not? So it feels like the Batman in this movie feels so much more raw than any of the other movies. You can tell he's still trying to figure it out. And maybe more so in this movie than the other movies, you do get the sense that he is very much fighting against his Bruce Wayne persona. Very rarely do we see Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Right.
And you do get the sense that he has really no interest in living like Bruce Wayne, as opposed to the other movies. I don't know what else to say about this movie. I actually don't mind I didn't mind the take on the Penguin, because I've also watched the HBO miniseries.
God, okay.
I think you should watch that.
I have to watch it. I did not like the Penguin.
I kind of like him. Like, I don't know. I guess he's
part of the reason I fell asleep.
Yeah, whereas like Burton's movie embraced like the grotesque nature of the Penguin, the Matt Reeves version embraced the gangster version of him.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been one that has met in the middle yet in film yet. I feel like they do a good job of that in the games, actually, in a weird way. But
with the Penguin specifically,
yeah, actually, I think so. In the Arkham games, but what was I gonna say? I don't know. What else did you say about this movie? I love that. It really, yeah. Again, I said like it's a detective noir movie.
I would say the way that when. I feel bad about this because when we went to go see it in theaters, when the movie opened, I was in from Jump Street. Mm-hmm. The way that it opens is the right tone. The music, Nirvana, Something in the Way, is absolutely the right tone for the movie.
I love the very opening of this movie where like when you first see the Batman coming in, where you hear his footsteps. You see this gang being up in the sky.
It's like a gang of jokers.
And all of a sudden they stop because they hear these footsteps. And just hear like, and you hear the score of the movie come into. It's like, dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Dun. The score of this movie is fantastic. You just hear the footsteps, and all of a sudden he emerges from the darkness.
Yeah, the music was the right tone. The opening scenes were perfect. And
he's a perfect gritty Batman. Breaks this guy's arm. Like, he does not give a shit about fucking up these bad guys.
It's so weird because like when the movie started, I was like all in on it, but like it just drags on in my. I don't know. I fell asleep I'm gonna be honest. Every time I've watched this movie,
of
I
all the Batman movies, it's definitely a slow burn for sure.
Yeah,
but that was intentional. I mean,
well,
because it's supposed to be more of a
and,
detective movie.
And I will say that like I don't think that I can give a fair critique of this film because again, every time I've attempted to watch this, the Matt Reeves version of Batman, every time I've attempted to watch it, I've fallen asleep. It's just so long, and but I will say that the villain and the way in which the actor plays the villain of the Riddler, like it feels like I was watching the movie Seven, but a Batman, but with Batman thrown into the world of Seven. And I was like, this is the right tone, the right music. Like, the fact that this feels like the movie Seven, like, that's the right atmosphere for this movie. Everything felt right about Matt Reeves' Batman. I don't want to cast aspersions to his rendition of Batman. Like, it felt right. It was so long. I could not stay engaged for 3 hours. It was too much. But the Riddler was, other than Christopher Nolan's Joker, the Riddler was the most disturbing villain I think I've ever experienced in a Batman movie, in a good way. Like, I would say that Christopher Nolan's Joker is obviously number one. Number two for me would be Matt Reeves' Riddler. Like,
I can't remember the actor's name, but yeah, he does a good job.
Yeah, he was in the No Country
He's been in a ton of stuff.
Not No Country for Old Men. What was the oil?
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. He was in that. He was like the preacher figure in that. He's been in a ton of stuff. Yeah. Anyways, he was fantastic. And he was the right character to play the Riddler. Like, the disturbing. They made the Riddler a very disturbing figure, and he was absolutely the right person for that role. So I want to give Matt Reeves a lot of props. Like, and I am giving him a lot of props. Other than Christopher Nolan's Joker, I think that his Riddler is the second most disturbing villain in a Batman movie I've ever watched. Again, it felt like the movie Seven. If you've watched Seven, you know what I'm talking about. It felt like the movie Seven, but with Batman plopped into the middle of it. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, I don't think there's any better way for me to describe it. Yeah, no, if there's anything other to say. I mean, memorable moments in that movie, definitely his entrance into the movie. I will say the slow burn is very memorable to me, just because that was very intentional. The clues that he had discovered throughout the movie are very good.
There are scenes where he has to decipher clues in order to move forward, move the plot forward.
The fight scene at the very end, which is probably like the whole movie builds to that. Like, it's like the end is the payoff where you get the Batman you're used to. Where he's fighting.
Who is he fighting at the end of it?
He's fighting a bunch of the Riddler's henchmen, which is essentially an online community he built. They're trying to kill the mayor, I think.
I totally fell asleep.
But essentially, like, he blows up this glass roof and falls in to the facility where the mayor is giving a speech, because this guy with a sniper, I think he actually hits her in the shoulder or something, who shoots her, and all of a sudden you just see like the roof goes like, there's just like multi-explosions go, and the glass falls in, and all of a sudden you see Batman fall in with it, and all of a sudden he starts taking out these bad guys one by one, which feels like very much like a traditional Batman movie. Like, it feels very much like the Christopher Nolan style Batman, where he's like taking out multiple bad guys. And the cool thing, I think, in that fight scene is when he gets knocked down by the shotgun blast, and I think it's Catwoman's character is helping him or something. She distracts the villain who is about to like take him out with the shotgun, and he also pulls out this green liquid, and essentially it's a nod to the fact that he is Venom, which is Bane's substance that he uses to power up. So clearly he's had a run-in with Bane because this is year 2 of Batman. So he's had run-ins with villains. Maybe even the Joker too, because he does actually. There's a deleted scene from the movie where he interviews the Joker in Arkham, maybe or something. So so this is a Batman who is still like new, who's still learning the ropes. Year 2 or 3 of being Batman, but has had run-ins with serious villains. And so he injects himself with the venom. All of a sudden, you see him like all of a sudden, like it like hits right away, and he recovers and is able to take out this bad guy. So I do love like the little nods here and there. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about that movie. I mean, I personally loved it. If we're gonna rank movies,
I fell asleep during it.
One thing I want to do before maybe we're gonna rank movies here, but I want to rank movies, and then here's the other thing I want to do. I want to rank best Batman, best Bruce Wayne, and maybe like the best combo. Who did the best playing both?
Interesting.
But before I do that, I want to give a shout out because I have to give out a shout out to some of the animated series and movies.
Go for it.
So first, I want to give a shout out to just the 90s animated series.
Yeah.
Fantastic score.
Yeah, go watch it.
Fantastic theme song for the beginning or whatever. One episode of that really sticks out. I think the thing that they did great is like everyone is a tragic character in that show. I mean, everyone in the comic books or in the movies are tragic characters, really.
Yeah.
The villains and Batman himself.
Right.
And one that sticks out is, and she's not even, I think, in the comic books or whatever. She might just be for the show, in the show or in this episode or whatever. But the reason Harley Quinn exists is because of the animated series. But there's this one episode where they have this little girl who has dwarfism or something, some sort of form of dwarfism. She can't age, or like she lives in this body of a child. And I think she's trying to get her cast back together or something. Anyways, the way like her character has this what is it like this TV show saying like the how Steve Urkel had like, did I do that?
Right.
Like she has a catchphrase. That's a good way to say it. Where she said, I didn't mean to, or something like that.
Right.
Like kind of wry or something. But like she's the villain of this episode. She's trying to get her old cast back together because she is this adult who's in a child's body who tried to become like a serious actor. Didn't work out. She eventually loses her mind and becomes a villain. And she has this little doll that shoots bullets. And she very much plays like a childlike character throughout this episode. And Batman's chasing her through this theme park. And all of a sudden she ends up in this hall of mirrors where she sees her reflection. And it just like bugs her. And all of a sudden she sees a reflection where for whatever reason, she looks like an adult in the mirror. And she's like, oh no, it's me. It's the real me. But it's just a lie. It's not real. And she just like starts shooting all the glasses, and she ends last with that one. And all of a sudden, like the doll gun that she has is like clicking. It's out of bullets, and you just see her crying as she's trying to keep shooting this glass. And Batman just calmly walks over. He grabs the doll out of her hand, and she's just crying. And she like looks at him, and she goes and like hugs his legs, and she says her catchphrase, but in a very like serious, more meaningful way this time, crying. She says, "I didn't mean to."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my god, that hit. That like there are moments in this like animated
Right.
show that like that just hit.
Yeah.
And this is a character who's not really even a canonical character.
Right. Right.
But Harley
No.
Quinn wasn't either until this show came out. So
Yeah, the animated was amazing. I mean, the animated show was absolutely fantastic, and I feel bad because I don't like what Ray just shared. I remember in bits and pieces, but I don't remember entirely. And I would really have to dive deep and try to.
they're just great, like tragic moments in the show, like Victor Freeze and his
Yeah.
wife Nora.
Well, that I do remember. Like there's a whole movie set around based around that dynamic.
Yeah, Sub-Zero. Yeah.
Yeah, great movie. I mean, like a lot of these. That's the great thing about Batman is a lot of the villains you have empathy for.
Clayface too, the way his almost ends very similar in the way that this episode with the little girl ends, where it's like hall mirrors, but like a hall of like television where he sees his old self in various acting roles.
Right. Well, he was like by the mob. He was forced to like
take some sort of like experimental drug or something.
Yeah. Right. The point being, a lot of the villains in Batman the animated
are tragic figures.
Yeah, I mean, like
Batman's just like a series of tragedies.
Yeah, you are empathetic for these villains because they did not mean to be these people. You know, they are kind of forced into them, which is a great thing, which is a great piece of enjoyment of enjoying like Batman. Both the animated series and the film adaptations is that a lot of these characters a lot of these villains you kind of side with, like you listen,
or you like empathize with.
You empathize with. You hear Heath Ledger's character and he says, "My wife had fallen with the sharks," and the schemers and whatever. And like you get to understand that without knowing a lot about his past, you start to understand like, he fell in with his wife, and he fell in with the wrong crowd of people, and that set him off on this path of becoming the Joker.
I will say the animated TV show episode I was referencing is called Baby Doll. You should watch it.
Yeah,
I mean, you should just watch the animated series.
Yeah, you should watch
Definitely
the 90s animated 90s animated series of Batman. You should go watch. Like the start and
the other things I will definitely recommend for animated, I guess these would be movies. Batman Year One, fantastic. Right. Bryan Cranston voices Gordon in that animated movie. He's fantastic as Gordon, and a
lot of people like really love the Batman Beyond series.
Batman Beyond for sure. There is another tragic episode I think that is referenced in Batman Beyond, where maybe I don't know. I'm guessing this is gonna be a spoiler, but like this is definitely one of the most tragic Batman animated episodes, but where we see the Joker like kidnaps one of the Robins, and I know there's several
Nighthawk or whatever
iterations of Robin, and basically tortures Robin. And Robin becomes this little Joker kid. And all of a sudden, like at the end of this episode, he has a gun, and he takes it. He's pointing it at Batman. Also, he points it at Joker, and he shoots him. He shoots Joker and kills Joker. And Robin's character's just laughing as he does this. And all of a sudden, like his laughing turns into crying. And he's just crying, and Batgirl comes and hugs him, and it's just like this incredibly tragic scene. And that's referenced, I think, in a Batman Begins episode, because this kid who becomes this Joker later becomes Joker, I think, in Batman Begins. Yeah, I don't know. Because in this episode of the show, or some people are confused, it's like, where did Joker just come from? Because we thought he was dead or something. It turns out to be, an old Robin or something.
Okay, so he was so corrupted that he could not become the Joker.
Joker tortured him, and I guess like like abuse and psychological abuse that he went through. I just totally screwed him up in this specific series,
right.
But that is also like, I think, a very memorable like Batman animation moment because of how tragic it is.
Any other honorable mentions?
I mentioned Batman Year One. You should definitely check that out. Animated is both comic book and animated movie. Check it out. Also, comic book and animated movie is Frank Miller's Batman Returns.
That was good.
I would say
part 1 and 2.
Watch part 1 and 2.
They're essentially like
they're essentially a scene for scene cut of the comic book.
That was good. Yeah.
It's basically an exact retelling of the comic book, from my understanding. And I don't know the actor's name, but he played RoboCop. He voices a fantastic elder Batman.
Right.
Essentially, the story is like Batman comes out of retirement.
Right. Right.
Because the city has like gone to shit. And there's also like a lot of political stuff going on. Like, I think in part 2 of that movie, when he squares up against Superman, my God, that is, I mean, it's better than Batman. It's better than the live action one. Yeah. Which is based off of Frank Miller's comic book. But this animated version is way better than that. Where Batman essentially kicks the shit out of Superman. And tells him to remember that. Yeah. Remember the one man who beat you.
Right. Any other honorable mentions before we wrap this up?
That's it for me for animated. Do we want? Well, here's the thing I said. Right? Do we want to rank best?
Pause because I have to take a piss. So let's pause. You think?
We're gonna become a couple rankings here.
Okay.
I'm going to say we're going to rank best Batman. We're going to rank best Bruce Wayne. And then we're going to rank maybe best combo. And then maybe our order of best movies. All right. So here's what I'm thinking.
So Ray's... I'm handing over to Ray here.
You just tell me, in your opinion, 3 categories here. Who played the best Batman? Mm-hmm. Who played the best Bruce Wayne? Who played the best version of both?
Okay. I think that I would give the best Batman over to...
And this is we're talking Tim Burton, Matt Reeves, Nolan.
I would say the best Batman, in my opinion, would be the Nolan... who's the actor?
Who's the actor? Fuck.
Chris something, right?
Hemsworth.
No.
No. American Psycho. Who is it? Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Okay. Bale, I think, played the best Batman, in my mind. The best Bruce Wayne. I feel like I'd give it to Bale again. And then the combination of the two, oh my God, this is going to sound so biased. I feel like Bale did the best out of all 3 of those categories. I feel like Bale played the best Wayne, the best Batman. No, I would have given that over to, I might have considered the best Bruce Wayne / Batman over to Keaton, had it not been for the fact that really in the first movie we don't get to know Bruce Wayne. We really just he's just so straight laced. I think the Nolan series takes the cake. Like I think it wins 3 for 3 in my mind. Like the best Batman, the best Bruce Wayne, and the combination of the two, I think it's Nolan. I think Nolan's series / Christian Bale's rendition of this figure takes the cake.
Yeah, I will say maybe Matt Reeves' version is at disadvantage here because, like, clearly
we've only seen one. Matt
we've
Reeves,
only seen one, and clearly his Batman is fighting against Bruce Wayne. Like, he very clearly does not like when he has to like be himself.
Yeah.
I have to really think here. It's weird because I came up with this question. I know for sure the best Bruce Wayne is definitely Christian Bale.
Yes,
he plays the best Bruce Wayne for sure. Best Batman.
I mean, I guess part of that goes to like, what do you value in a Batman? Like, what do you value in somebody who's going to portray Batman? Like, what are the aspects of that character that you're gonna highlight? You know, I mean, I feel like that's part of what goes into what you think the best Batman would be. If it's a true crime, it's Matt Reeves, right? Like if it's if true crime in detective work is what you're looking at, then okay, Matt Reeves.
I feel like that's why I'm going to give the best Batman to who's the actor? Matt Reeves.
Patterson.
Yeah, Robert. I think I'll give the best Batman that I've seen on screen to Patterson. I think I'll give Christian Bale the best Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And I think I'll give the best combo to Keaton.
Okay.
I think Keaton plays a good combo.
Yeah. Okay. He plays two. I would definitely agree with you in the '92 movie. He plays definitely two sides of the same, like two sides of that coin.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's able to do his like Batman voice, not to the degree that Bale kind of like, I don't know. People make fun of Bale because he does go over the top with his Batman voice, but I think Keaton is able to add a Batman inflection to his voice when he's Batman versus when he's Bruce Wayne. That is a little more subtle.
Yeah. Okay. I would agree with that. Yeah. Okay. What was the next category?
Just like if we're looking at, we're just looking at live action. We're taking out the Schumacher bullshit.
Yeah.
We're not Adam West. We're not. No offense to Adam West, but we're not considering the '60s versions of Batman here. But looking just at Matt Reeves, at Tim Burton, and at the Christopher Nolan series, rank your movies. Favorite to least, I guess. I don't know. Do you want to do least to most favorite? Favorite to least?
Let me do best to least.
Best to least.
God, it's hard. Okay. So I know everybody's going to disagree with this.
100% if you say The Rises.
My top one of enjoyment of what I would like if I was told, hey, today you've got nothing on your plate, sit down, this movie is on the screen, let's watch it. Dark Knight Rises is number one. Dark Knight number two. Batman 1989 number three. The Batman number four. 1992 Batman Returns, and then Batman Begins number 5. So it goes Batman Rises, Dark Knight, Batman Rises, Dark Knight, Batman 1989,
The Batman.
The Batman. Or no, that's not right. Rises, Dark Knight, 1989.
And putting Begins before
Batman Begins, 1992, The Batman. Oh, no, sorry. Shit.
I think you put The Batman, but here's what I remember your original order being. Okay. Rises, Dark Knight, 1989, The Batman.
Yeah. No, that's not right. That's not right.
1989 Returns, The Batman.
Here it is.
Retcon this.
We're gonna edit this out. Dark Knight Rises.
No. Oh, okay. Yeah,
the
Dark Knight Rises. Yeah,
Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight. 1989. The Batman as number 4. The Batman is number 4. 1992. Tim Burton's.
Returns.
And then Batman Begins is the last.
Okay. I think Batman Begins is going to be my last 2 as well, but it's going to be a different order for me for sure. It's going to be The Dark Knight, The Batman, Batman Rises, Dark Knight, The Batman, Dark Knight Rises. Yeah,
I already hate
that's
this.
right. Dark Knight Rises, 1989, 1992, then Batman Begins. Did I get all?
Yeah, we were just focusing on Burton and Nolan, and the one Matt Reeves movie.
Yeah, so I think it to me it goes The Dark Knight, The Batman, Dark Knight Rises, 1989's Tim Burton, the Batman Returns, then the Batman Begins.
Okay, so we both ended with Batman Begins. We disagree with the fact that you put The Batman ahead of Dark Knight Rises. I'm kind of pissed off about it.
No, it's so memorable. Like
The Batman, I have fallen asleep.
The Batman.
I could count on my hand maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times I've fallen asleep during The Batman. The villains are so boring.
I mean, if it weren't for Heath Ledger, I mean, to me, The Batman would be number 1. But
oh my god,
The Dark Knight
so
is
bad.
like the Dark Knight is so like
No.
It is one of the greatest comic book movies. It is the greatest Batman movie.
Oh
in
yeah,
my opinion.
Yeah. Dark Knight is
To you because you
not.
put the Rise of
Well, Dark Knight is the second best. Dark Knight Rises. I love the Dark Knight Rises. I mean, like Bane, like the whole story arc.
The bridges blowing up.
The fact that they bring the story arc from Batman Begins back into Dark Knight Rises. Yes, Dark Knight Rises is the best. But how dare you put the Batman number 2?
The Batman
that's
number
all
2 for sure.
The Batman number
100%.
2. How dare you?
I have no problem doing that.
The fact that I've fallen asleep 4 times in that movie, like how dare you?
How dare you? That's what I say.
I feel like I need to watch it. Now I will say that like I agree with Ray.
Maybe like give you some like
I agree with Ray. I
some
need
Adderall and you watch that movie.
Yeah, I agree with Ray. I need to rewatch The Batman, but I can't help the fact that I might fall asleep for the 5th time during the movie.
Yeah, I just need to give you some uppers or something.
Yeah,
watch that movie.
3 hours, a 3-hour Batman movie, a 3-hour Batman movie. That's insane. Anyways, we're gonna sign off. This has been Bob. That's Ray. We are your Cleveland Twin hosted podcast called Split Personalities.
Something in the way. It's Batman.
Something has been in the way, and it's the fact that we all know Dark Knight Rises is the number 1 movie.
Something's in the way, and it is
everything else is in the way.
No, let me tell you something. Something is in the way, and it's the Batman before the Dark Knight Rises. That's what's in the way.
Ray's put everything in the way besides Dark Knight Rises, which, as we know, the cream rises to the top, which is Dark Knight Rises.
That being the Batman.
That being the Dark Knight Rises, and everything else flows underneath that. Like they downstream to that. So, anyways, we've been Bob. We've been Split Personalities. We've been Bob. We've been Split Personalities. The show hosted by the Cleveland Twins. I'm Bob. That's Ray. We're signing off.